Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new reading vlog. So I figured I would film this intro to talk about the book that I'm currently reading and like what my reading plans are. I am currently reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So I am jumping kind of around in his backlist basically. So I finished Words of Radiance and then the novella that comes after that called Edge Dancer. And before going into Oathbringer, I was like, I gotta read Mistborn. I've been told that it's kind of good to read Mistborn before going into some of the later Stormlight Archive books. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just pick it up. So I did start it. I'm on page 202, so I'm like, I don't know, maybe a third of the way through. A little over a third of the way actually, because I think it's only like 530-ish pages. Oh, not quite halfway, but over a third of the way. But yeah, I am so far enjoying it. I think, was this his first book? I better not start saying stuff that I actually don't know the answer to. But yeah, this is following two characters, Kelsier and Vin, and it's kind of got like a heist element to it. So Kelsier is kind of like a career criminal, and he is a Mistborn, so he has like these special abilities. In this world, the magic system is like based off of metals and like ingesting metals and like burning metals, and different metals give you different abilities, and most people with these abilities can only use like one type of metal. Or is it one type of metal, or is it like can only do one thing with the metal? I'm not very clear on that. I probably should be, but Kelsier can use like all the metals and all of the like abilities, which those are called Mistborns. And then Vin is kind of like a street urchin kind of thing, and she gets roped into this heist and she starts learning some of these abilities and like training with Kelsier, and they're planning to take down the Final Empire because the Lord Ruler of this Final Empire is pretty horrible. They just want to like take him down. So that is basically all I know about this one so far. I am really enjoying it. I really like Brandon Sanderson's writing. It's so funny to me because the first book that I like really read by him was Warbreaker, and I don't think I had any like issues with his writing. I just didn't enjoy that book, and I thought, you know, Brandon Sanderson's just not for me. But now that I'm like reading some of his other works and I'm like, this is incredible, this is definitely for me, I'm gonna have to go back and reread Warbreaker and see if I feel differently about it. So I will be rereading Warbreaker at some point. When Audible had their sale, I got the Warbreaker audiobook for like $3, so I'll be able to listen to it on audio. I am also listening to the audio of this one. I really like the narrator. So Michael Kramer also does the narration for like the male parts in the Stormlight Archives, and I really like it. But yeah, I'm listening to this one using my like Spotify time. So if you didn't know, if you have Spotify or Spotify Premium, you can listen to up to 15 hours of audiobooks, like certain audiobooks that they have. So unfortunately, Mistborn is like a 25-hour audiobook, so I wouldn't be able to listen to it all in a single month. But in 10 days, my time will reset, so I'll be able to finish it. It just won't be all this month. So I'm just gonna keep reading until I hit my limit for the month, and then I'll probably pick up something else until my time resets and I can go back to this one. But it's okay, because I'm honestly okay with like slowly reading Brandon Sanderson's books, even though I do have this like urge to like read it all right now that I'm in the mood for it and like I'm really enjoying it. So I'm like, I gotta do it all before my reading mood changes. Also don't want to like rush through all of his books and then have no more Brandon Sanderson to read, so I'm fine with taking my time on it. So yeah, basically I will read this until my Spotify audiobook listening time runs out. And I could start my reread of Warbreaker since I have the audiobook for that. Or I could read one of these two books that are on my physical TBR and have been for quite a while, and I would like to try to finish them before the year is out. So the first one is The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton. This is a historical magical realism where it's ornithologists, so they study birds. They're looking for this like magical firebird, I think. It says, rival ornithologists hunt through England for a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com. I really enjoy historical magical realism books. especially when the main character has like a focused study. So like Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, she studies fairies, and I really enjoy that. So I feel like this one would be a pretty quick read. So I could pick up that one. Or I could also start Kingdom of Claw by Debbie Winters. So this is book 2 in the Ashen series. The first book is The Road of Bones, which is a Viking fantasy with like a touch of romance. I wouldn't call it a fantasy romance, like I wouldn't, or romancy, like I wouldn't put it in that category, but it definitely has like a romance subplot, like a slow burn, slow build romance working its way in. But I really enjoyed the first book, and I liked the magic in it, and I liked the characters. So I'm interested to see where the story is going to go, so I definitely want to continue it. But this did get picked up by a traditional publisher, and we really don't have a like anticipated publication date for book 3. So I'm also like, I don't know if I want to read this and then have to wait potentially like 2 or 3 years for the third book. Now that I'm in the mood for fantasies, I'm like, I really do want to pick this one up. So this one has potential for me to pick it up and try to like finish it before the year is out. Could also start Oathbringer because like I don't necessarily need to have read Mistborn and Warbreaker before going into Oathbringer. It's not like it has pertinent information that I will need to understand Oathbringer. Plus I'm already missing those characters in that world. So you really don't know what I'm gonna read in these vlogs. I'm very much a mood reader, and like things change for me. So I'm saying, oh, this is what I'll likely be reading in this vlog, but that could completely change by the next clip. So who really knows? But yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about the fact that I did start Mistborn, really enjoying it, and that I have ideas for potential books that I'll read in this vlog, and I just wanted to sit and chit chat and start this so that we can start talking about books again. It's been a few days or maybe even like a week since my last vlog, so I don't know, it felt weird to not be vlogging. So I'm like, I want to start this vlog and get this show on the road. Yeah, welcome to the vlog. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next update. Hello everyone, Editing Hannah here to give you a little disclaimer that the next clips you're about to see are actually from a failed 24-hour readathon that I attempted and did not complete. And instead of scrapping all of the footage that I had, because it's like still good footage, I just thought, you know what, I'll just throw it into the weekly vlog. And I just didn't want to like scrap all of this like footage just because the vlog that I had planned it for wasn't gonna be posted. So I just figured I would pop in and give you a little like warning, because I just did the intro for this vlog and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, welcome to a 24-hour readathon vlog, and that's not the case. So yeah, just bear with me here. Just pretend it's part of the weekly reading vlog, and anytime that I say it's for the 24-hour readathon vlog, just ignore that. All right, here we go. I am so excited. I haven't done a 24-hour readathon in a very long time, and I'm not gonna do this like super duper strict or anything where I like I'm still gonna sleep, you know what I'm saying? I think, I don't even remember when the last 24-hour readathon I did was. I do know that there was one where I stayed up for the full 24 hours and I felt so accomplished. But now that I've done that, it's like, I don't really feel the need to do that again. Also, I am just getting out of being sick for literally 2.5 months. I still have like a tiny bit left in me. Like there's a teeny bit of congestion. There's a little bit of coughing, very little, but this is the best that I felt in actual months. So I don't want to like not rest and then have like a relapse or something like that. I am officially on winter break now. I am home from school. It's Friday, and tomorrow is the 21st of December, which is winter solstice, the first day of winter. So I thought, you know what? let's do a 24-hour Christmas themed readathon that day. I do have a TBR that I will be picking up. So the first book that I'll mention on my TBR, it might not be the first book that I pick up. Maybe it will be. Who knows? But that is The Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese. This is one of my favorite romances of all time, and it happens to be a Christmas romance set in a bookstore, and it is workplace rivals to lovers, like a kind of hate to love or like annoyed to love, definitely rivals to lovers. I just love it so much. I have read this obviously before and reread it and annotated in it, and I love it so much. It's so good. If you haven't picked this up yet, please do yourself a favor and pick it up. It is less than 200 pages, but it packs in like a full story. It doesn't feel like it's too short. It's 179 pages. And the like hate to love kind of thing, or like annoyed to love, whatever you want to call it, is so good. I love the banter between the two characters, and I love all of the like winter and Christmas ambiance in this. The fact that it's set in a bookstore, I love it so much. So yeah, I'm really excited to reread this one for this readathon, and it's perfect because it's really short, so I should be able to read it in like just a few hours. All of the other books on my TBR are also fairly short, so I want to pick up Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. This is the Caraval novella. So I have read the Caraval trilogy, and I did like it, but it wasn't like life-changing or anything for me. I definitely prefer her Once Upon a Broken Heart series more, but this one is a holiday-themed novella set in the world of Caraval. So I know very little about it other than that, so I've been saving it, and it's so short. I bought the audiobook not that long ago, and I think it's like maybe 2.5 hours long, and I'll probably listen to it on 2 times speed, so it's like it'll take me just over an hour to finish it. I am just hoping that it has like the wintry, Christmassy ambiance. I honestly don't care what happens with the plot, or like I do like the characters, it'll be fun to be back with them, but Stephanie Garber has such a way with writing ambiance that I love it in her books, and especially in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I just love how she wrote about winter, especially in the first book. I'm excited for it. Then I have 2 books that I got from Libro FM. So there's Make the Season Bright, which is an Ashley Herring Blake sapphic Christmas novella, which I have read from Ashley Herring Blake before, and I really do like her romances. Again, I know very little about this one. I just got it on Libro FM through their ALC program, so it's another really short audiobook. So since I have so many like audiobooks at this time, I do need to get some crocheting done, so I'll probably crochet while I listen to that one. And then the other one is called Baking It Merry, which I can't remember the author's name of that one, but I do know that it's, again, very short. I think it's like a 6-hour audiobook. I'm not sure how many pages it is or anything like that. But I just thought, you know what? It's a Christmas-themed romance novella, so we're gonna give it a whirl. So that right now, those are the 4 books that I plan on reading for the 24-hour readathon tomorrow. I do plan on hosting some reading sprints tomorrow afternoon, and Sahar said she was going to join me because she is also on winter break, so we'll be able to read together. Christina might join us, so who knows. We recently had a bit of a snowstorm come through, so there is snow on the ground and everything is so beautiful outside, and I want to make hot chocolate. I've got crocheting to do. Obviously, I'm going to be reading and listening to like those audiobooks. It's just going to be a fun time, just a full day of reading and being festive, and I'm really excited for it. So without further ado, I'm going to stop talking now because I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. So I will see you tomorrow on the winter solstice. Happy birthday, Farah. And we will read some Christmas books and get into the Christmas spirit.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little prison shop, when the bell on the door stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on, from this Christmas on, it's gonna be you and me decorating the tree from this Christmas on. We forgot what you came for, and in the coffee shop just next door, we talked for hours on end, and somehow we knew that we'd found something true, and that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on, from this Christmas on, it's gonna be you and me decorating the tree from this Christmas on. From this Christmas on.
All right, good morning, everyone. Happy start of the 24-hour readathon. I started a little later than I had intended. I woke up at like 5 a.m. just on my own, and I looked at the clock and I was like, I should get up and just like get started. This is like the perfect start to the readathon. Waking up that early. I didn't do that. I stayed in bed for another hour. And then I was like, that's okay. 6 a.m. start is still good. But then I fell back asleep for another hour. And I woke up at 7. And I was like, all right, we're really gonna get up. And I did. I got up. I started getting ready. Obviously, I'm in my Christmas jammies. So thanks to my mom for getting me these. They're so comfortable and so festive, and I love them. But I didn't actually start reading until around 8:30. So it's a little bit of a late start to the readathon. However, I have already finished my first book of the readathon, and it's only 11 o'clock. So I'm still going to call it a success. A successful start, at least. Because that book was not a success. It was actually pretty terrible. I would have DNF'd it very, very early on had it not been for a 24-hour readathon, and this was a very short book. I started with Baking It Merry by Samantha Chase, and I went in like expecting kind of a Hallmark style Christmas romance. It's pitched as grumpy sunshine, enemies to lovers, or like hate to love. And that is what it is. It's just so poorly done. The guy was like not grumpy, he's just like a complete dick. Like, he just sucks. The main female character was like sunshiny, and she was fine for the most part. It's just like some of the stuff that she would say and like how she would say it. I'm like, who talks like that? Like, you sound robotic. The cheesiness of it, like I was expecting high levels of cheesiness, but this was just like too much. I was like, what is even, this is like a caricature of what someone thinks human interaction is like. It was just bad. And then the like hate to love went from like I hate this person and they're insufferable and I want to take them down, to literally turning the page like to the next chapter and they're like, actually, I kind of like this person and I think we should be friends. I think we should work together. And I'm like falling for them. And I was like, we are not even 20% into this tiny little book. It's not even 250 pages. So basically it's following Daphne, who has a seasonal bake shop that is in like the first floor level of this like big business building, and she has baked goods. She doesn't own her own bakery, but she likes baking and she's really good at it. And then this like crotchety architect that just like apparently hates everything just because he can. There's no real reason for it. He's just like sucks. And he ends up like needing her to bake things for some like holiday parties or whatever. And they end up in like a fake dating situation. And I was just like, just the whole time, I just wasn't enjoying it. But yeah, I mean, a lot to say about a 250 page Christmas romance. But yeah, it was not off to a great start. I was very, very happy when it was over. So anyway, so not a great start reading wise, because I'm still calling the fact that I have a book finished before noon a success. I need to read something that I actually enjoy, and I'm gonna go grab it. I know I love this. So I'm gonna read this because this is well written. This is a really good hate to love Christmas romance that is like kind of over the top Christmassy and like has that like Hallmark feel to it, but I don't think it's cheesy. I just think it's amazing and I love it. So I'm gonna transition to this because I know I'm gonna have a good time with this. And I'm gonna read this physically and maybe I will add to my annotations and stuff. We shall see. But yeah, I just really need a win. So I'm gonna start that. I am gonna do some reading sprints this afternoon in a few hours. I would like to have, get maybe about halfway in the next few hours before I start those sprints and get in the jolly spirit, because baking it merry was just not good. I wouldn't recommend it. I did, however, get like 4.5 rows crocheted on my genre blanket this morning while I listened to that. So that's good at least. But yeah, just wanted to update that I finished my first book and I'm moving on. We are moving on from it. I'm done talking about it. We're going into something better.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
All right, so it is about 3:30 now, and I have started sprints, and I have started the mistletoe motive. That tassel almost hit me right in the face. I am, let's see, 45 pages into this one, so still at the very beginning, but this was definitely the right choice because I'm having a lot of fun rereading this one, as I knew I would, but I needed that after Baking It Merry. If you don't know, this is a workplace rivals to lovers set in a bookstore where these two a little bit grumpy sunshine. She's not like super sunshiny, but she just likes the holidays, so she's more festive. They both work at this bookstore, and there's like a little bit of a rivalry between them and like their styles of managing, I guess, or like promoting books. It's very festive as well, and yeah, it's like my favorite holiday romance. I did also start the audiobook for Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake, which I thought was a like short novel. It's not. It's like a full-length regular novel. So I had some misinformation there, but I think I'm only about 2 chapters into that one. That one is a second chance romance where the main characters are like ex-fiancés, and one of them left the other at the altar. And they're kind of like thrown together over the holidays, where one of them, I can't remember which one, their mom sets them up on like these holiday date nights or something, like kind of a little bit of a matchmaking situation. But yeah, I'm a little curious about the leaving someone at the altar kind of situation. And that was 5 years before the start of this book. So we shall see. And then I do still want to read Spectacular. That one will be really quick because that one is super duper short. So, but for right now, I'm focusing on this while I'm on sprints. I'm on sprints with Sahar right now. We just set the sprint for like an hour, so I'm hoping I can get a lot read in that hour. We set it for a little bit longer because she is just about to finish Jade Legacy, and like I just want her to be able to finish it in one sprint without having to stop, with like 10 pages left or something like that. So we extended the sprint. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to update that. This is what I'm currently reading. I'm having fun on sprints with Sahar. I'm gonna go while the sprint is there's still like plenty of time left on the sprint, and hopefully I can get a lot further in this. Yeah, that's the plan for right now. So I'm gonna go read. Hello. It is the next day now, and I'm throwing in the towel for the 24-hour readathon. Like scrapping it. I lost so much motivation yesterday. I don't know if it was because I started with Baking It Merry and it was just awful. I was like, what's the point even? I was rereading The Mistletoe Motive, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I had reading sprints on my channel with Sahar, which were really fun, but my energy level was really like low. I probably should have like taken a nap or something. I thought I could get a coffee before the sprints and that would like give me a little like boost. But they made my coffee wrong. When you can like tell by the color that it's not going to be what you want? As soon as I got it, I was like, oh, all right. And yeah, it was just too much cream, not enough cold brew. Oh, you are balancing in my little pen caddy thing. Please stay. Anyways, the coffee was no good, so I got no like caffeine boost, and I was just so tired yesterday. And so after sprints, I had intended to go for like a lot longer on the sprints, but I ended them after I think 3 sprints, which was still good. It was almost 4 hours of reading sprints. But yeah, after that I was like, I have very little desire to continue reading and continue doing this. And then today I had like other things to do. I had some errands to run this morning with Brandon, and then we had planned to like wrap all of our Christmas presents, which we always every year put on Elf, and then we wrap our Christmas presents. So we did that this afternoon. I did manage to finish my reread of The Mistletoe Motive. I don't remember where I was in the last update, but I did finish it and I loved it. It was great. Yeah, I was gonna then like do I'll just do a 24 and 48 hour readathon because I read yesterday. We'll call that 12 hours because I started around 8:30 a.m. and then I definitely finished before 8:30. So like I could do another like 12 hours today. But I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to force myself just for this video. So I'll just include this in my weekly vlog. So that's where we're at. There you have it. Yeah. So I am still going to read Spectacular by Stephanie Garber, which is a really, really short novella set in the Caraval world, and I've heard really good things about it. I know Katie from Katie is Reading just read it, and she said it's like very whimsical, very festive. So I'm looking forward to that one. I have the audiobook and it's really short. It's only going to take me like an hour and 15 minutes to listen to the audiobook. So I will do that and continue to like crochet my genre blanket. I'm just not going to do that tonight. I'll probably do that sometime tomorrow. But yeah, this is just in the weekly vlog now, so there's no time crunch for me anymore. So that's all I'm going to do for this update. I'll check in tomorrow when I like read Spectacular and let you know my thoughts on that little novella. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue reading Make the Season Bright because I'm not very far in, but I'm just like not really vibing with it. So I might just not read that one either. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow when I pick up Spectacular.
The Christmas lights fill the city. There are people everywhere. The snow is falling white and pretty as I stroll on my way to you. How would you feel about packing up today? Leave this all behind. Go get snowed in somewhere, you and me. I would rather be somewhere with you, without TV or phone. Is it wrong for me to want you for my own? This Christmas, let the others miss us. Let's go get snowed in. Let's go get snowed in. How wrong could that be? Being snowed in somewhere, you and me. Let's go get snowed in. Let's go get snowed in. How wrong could that be? Being snowed in somewhere, you and me. Let's get snowed in somewhere, you and me.
Alright, hello everyone. It has been several days now since my last update. Christmas has come and gone. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah, I just haven't been able to update, so I have lots of reading updates for you. I did read and finish Spectacular by Stephanie Garber several days ago, and I think I'm just gonna give that one 3 stars because I really did not feel a whole lot for it. I did like the atmospheric writing about the holidays, but there wasn't like a ton of it. All of Stephanie Garber's descriptions of this great holiday, which is basically like Christmas, and all of the stuff that had to do with that, I enjoyed those parts. This novella was following Donatella, who's one of the main characters in the Caraval series, as she searches for the perfect gift for that special someone. And I don't know, it felt kind of like weird. I would have liked something more centered around like the actual holiday. I don't know how to describe it or like say what my issues were with it without like giving spoilers away. So I'm just gonna leave it at like I'm giving it 3 stars. Like it was fine. Then I read more of Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So I made it to page 300 before my Spotify audiobook listening time ran out for the month, but it should reset in like a day or two, so I can just continue reading this once it resets and I'll be able to finish it, because you get 15 like hours included in your membership, and I believe I have like just under 11 hours left of this, so I'll be able to finish it with like my January listening time. I'm loving Mistborn, and I really like the main character Vin, and I'm just like really curious about the magic and to like see her progressing with the magic. So I'm really enjoying this one, and I'm eager to continue when my listening time comes back. Since that ran out, I decided to pick up another book, and I am reading The Ornithologist Field Guide to Love by India Holton. So this is a historical fantasy rom-com following these rival ornithologists as they traipse across the London countryside looking for this magical bird, and there's like a little bit of a competition element added into trying to find this bird, and so a bunch of ornithologists are like hunting for this bird, and these two rivals end up having to a little bit work together, but it's kind of adding that element of like, can I really trust you because we're rivals, but also I'm attracted to you. So there's that, and then it's historical, so there's like the this is improper kind of thing. It's all like chaste glances and like hands touching and the Darcy hand clench and stuff like that. So I'm really enjoying it. I am 119 pages into it, so I'm about a third of the way through it. And yeah, it's just a fun time. I would highly, highly recommend this if you are a fan of the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett. It's super similar to that because it's historical fantasy, so it's got that like historical element to it, plus it's still rivals to lovers, which is what Emily Wilde's is. They're both professors, which again is like what Emily Wilde's is, and they're searching for this magical thing that they have this hyper-focused study of, which again in Emily Wilde's it's fairies, and this one it's magical birds. So if you're like just coming off of reading Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies and you're like, I want something super similar to that, but I don't want to reread it, here you go. That's what this one is. I do know there's going to be a second book following geographers. Can't remember. I think it's a green cover. And I'm not sure if I've met those characters yet. Oh, it should say in the back here. Geographers. The Geographer's Map to Romance is what it's called. But yeah, I'm not sure if I've met those characters yet or not, but I will probably end up picking that one up because I am enjoying India Holton's writing, and I know she has another historical like fantasy series. I think it's more about like witchiness though. I'm sure I'll be picking up more from India Holton because I am enjoying it. So that is what I'm currently reading. I'm hoping that I can finish these 2 books before the end of the year. Currently it is the 27th, so I definitely could make a lot more progress in this because it is going by so fast. And then I think my time resets on Spotify tomorrow actually, and I do have tomorrow and the next day is like Brandon's side of the family Christmases, so I'll be pretty busy those 2 days, so I won't be able to read probably at all those 2 days, but I'll still have the 30th and the 31st to wrap up my reading, so I could potentially finish this before the end of the year. I'll definitely be able to finish this one. We'll see. I don't want to rush through it just to finish it before the end of the year, but it would be nice. Anyways, that is going to be it for this update. I will check back in later if I do make it farther into this one, or if I have something really pertinent that I would like to share with you all. So I will see you all in the next update. have finally finished The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was super cute, super fun. Definitely would recommend for people who like when there is like the main character is like hyper focused on a certain study. Like if you like Veronica Speedwell because she studies butterflies, if you like Emily Wilde because she studies fairies, if you liked what's that dragon one? I can't remember the name of it, but if you like that about books, like if you like that the main character is like a professor in something and that is kind of what leads to the plot of the book, I think you'd really enjoy this one. Obviously ornithology, so it's birds, but in this book it's magical birds, so it's a historical fantasy, and the rivals to lovers and then somewhat reluctant allies tropes are in here, and it is really, really fun. I had a good time with it. I will likely pick up the second book, which follows different characters. It's called The Geographer's Map to Romance, which comes out sometime in 2025, and it follows the main guy in this book, his cousin, who we do meet, Gabriel. So I'm interested to see how that one's gonna go because I think it's an arranged marriage or marriage of convenience maybe. But yeah, that one does sound really fun, but I really enjoyed this one. I'm gonna give it 4 stars, so it was a good time. So that is going to wrap up this reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, end of the year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hopefully 2025 starts off with a bang. I'm really excited for 2025 for many reasons, as I'm sure you know, but I am very excited to start the year off fresh. I don't know that I'll be doing quite as much reading next year. I did read a lot less this year than I have in like the past 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I'm not sure what my reading will look like next year, but nevertheless, I am excited for it and I hope you are too. Let me know down in the comments what your first book of 2025 is going to be. Me and my friends talk about this and we put a lot of, I'm gonna say, weight behind the first book of the year. We just feel like, you know, it starts off the year right if you can pick a good book or a book that you've been highly anticipating and you think you'll give 5 stars. Hopefully it's not a disappointment. We put a lot of thought behind the decision of what our first book of the year is going to be, so I would love to know what you plan to read for your first book of 2025. And if you made it to the end of this video, you can let me know by leaving a little Christmas tree emoji down in the comments down below. And thank you again so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!